Hi there. It's August the 20th, and we are drawing the book of Esther to a close today with chapters 8 through to the very short chapter 10. The denouement of the book of Esther is that having dispatched Haman and having done away with him, now the Esther appeals to the king to reverse the order that has been made to destroy all of the Jews throughout the empire. And when the king asks how can this be done, she says that she wants to allow the Jews to defend themselves and to destroy anybody who comes against them and anybody who is a threat to them. So the king actually takes his signet off and gives it to Mordecai and Esther, and they send out letters that basically allow the Jews to gather into cities, to gather together for defense and to destroy anybody who comes against them. And there's a terrible vengeance, a terrible bloodletting in chapter 9, where many people are destroyed and many killed, including the sons of Haman who are hung on the gallows. And it's a terrible vengeance that is wrought on the people who were against the Jews. But finally, there's also a commandment, another letter that comes out commanding the people of Israel to keep the memory of God's deliverance, because it's seen as God delivering them from the hand of Haman, from the hand of their enemies. And so they are to keep a festival on the 13th month of Adar every year called Purim. Now Purim is the plural of the Hebrew word pur, that means the lot, because the lot was cast to choose the 13th of Adar as the day originally for the destruction of the Jews, but instead it turned around to become their day of deliverance. And each year on the 13th of Adar in the Hebrew calendar, there's a great celebration among Jewish people. They read the Megillat Esther, they read the scroll of Esther, and there's a wonderful party atmosphere. People dress up this fancy dress, they tell the story of Esther and Haman. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of sending of presents to one another as well, there's special foods eaten. It's actually one of the most light-hearted and most joyful festivals in the Jewish calendar. And finally, in chapter 10 of Esther, we find that Mordecai is promoted to being next to King Ahasuerus in significance in the kingdom. And just like predecessors before him, just like with Joseph, just like with Daniel, so Mordecai comes to a place of great significance and of great power in the kingdom because God is with him. You know, it's amazing what God can achieve, what God can do through us when we yield ourselves to his purposes. In this story of Esther, we see God turn around what was intended for evil to the blessing and to the victory of his people. How much more then do we who follow Jesus, the one who has conquered death itself, how much more will God turn around those things which threaten us to his glory and his honour? Have a very good August the 20th.